Good morning, everyone. Good Wednesday morning in January 2024 here, a very special edition of the Weekend Cruiser. So, as many of you know, I live in Miami very intentionally to be closer to the cruise ships. So, you are currently looking at a zoomed in version from my balcony. I was woken up this morning by the icon of the sea. She was blaring her horn at 7 o'clock in the morning, which most of the time they do not do. So I knew something was up, and kind of knew she was coming as I was waiting for it. But I am excited to show you, to reveal to you, icon of the seas. She is currently coming into her home port here in Miami, Port Miami. Now, she has already gone through the channel. So she's come, actually, she passed Terminal A, which is where she's going to be home porting, and she went to the turn basin. And so she has now left the turn basin and is now going back to her home port where she's going to be at Terminal A here at Port Miami. Now, I've already seen the ship come through, but a few details about the ship is number one, it is huge. It is the icon of the seas. It is a brand new class for Royal Caribbean. And so when we talk about classes of ships, it is a design of that ship, if you will. And Royal Caribbean has several in their fleet these days. Currently, Oasis of the Seas has always been the largest of the cruise ships in the Royal Caribbean fleet. Today, that is Wonder of the Seas. However, with the Icon class coming out, it is now the very first of her namesake of her class and is larger than the Oasis class ships. She's also going to be NG powered. Is it LNG powered? Natural gas powered. So she is going to be a cleaner burning ship than her predecessors have been. And so in seeing this ship, I mean, you can see it coming into view now. I'll go down. I'm going to move this a little bit more to get it for you, but she is a beautiful ship. I have not probably talked kindly about her because it's not designed for me. It is designed for families. But in looking at the sheer engineering, marveling at this thing actually floats, you all. Like it floats. It is huge. And it looks brand new. I mean, this ship looks like a new ship, and it's something that we've never seen before. It's very different. Looking all the way at the forward section of it, you can see that the Aqua Theater has also been moved. So the Aqua Theater is now where that dome is going to be at in the front section of the ship. That is something new for this design. You're also going to be able to see on the top of it, it's got a ton of activities and things specifically in the back section of this ship. So the aft section of this ship, where the boardwalk used to be on, or where the boardwalk is on Oasis class ships, you're going to find that on this ship, that is your family suite or family neighborhood now. Because you know that Oasis class ships, including now the Icon of the Seas class, have neighborhoods. And so they're going to have one that's designed specifically for families. Now, this cruise ship that you can see that's starting to come into full view, I mean, I can't say how enough about how pretty it is and how awe-inspiring this ship is for me. It looks absolutely gorgeous. One of the things you'll notice, or that I noticed about this ship, that is different than the Oasis class, and I think that that's the natural place that I compare this ship to, because that's the only thing even close to it. The back section or the aft section of this ship, you all are familiar with having the Aqua Theater back there. You're used to having Aqua Suites and Aqua Rooms in the back section of the ship. Here, those rooms come all the way out to the aft. So that is your family neighborhood that you see down there where the boardwalk used to be that goes directly to the back of the ship. So this ship is going to hold about 7,600 passengers at max capacity. That is huge. And surprisingly, they've done that by adding not too many rooms. So it has only added a few rooms to the actual ship, even though it is larger. What they have done is they have made the density of those rooms be even higher. So they are really designing it for families of four, five, six to make it easier. So if you're going on another ship and you are, let's say, a family of five, it's really tough to find a room that you can afford, or that is affordable, I should say, that will sleep and accommodate five people. Most rooms only accommodate four and lower, and some are two and lower. This ship is going to flip the script on that and give us even more rooms and even more selections for people of larger families. So if you want to come with, multi-generational, that is something that Royal Caribbean is certainly focusing on is bring the grandparents, bring the parents, bring the kids, bring everybody. And they're going to be able to find places to accommodate you. Let's move the camera a wee little bit. You've got the MSC ship here that is at its terminal. I can't tell what MSC ship that is. I don't have my glasses on this morning, and I'm not zoomed in quite that far. While we do that, though, you can see clearly the icon of the sea is just past Terminal G. And so that is where you see the little tent-like items on the left. The Port of Miami and Royal Caribbean just reached an agreement last month, 2 months ago, that they're going to be knocking that down. And I am thankful for that. That is an old style terminal. Gets the job done, but it only goes up to about the Voyager class of ship. It cannot accommodate anything larger. And as you all know, Royal Caribbean's fleet is growing by leaps and bounds in size and in number of ships. And so they need some additional options on where they can port these ships. So they're going to be knocking down Terminal G, and they're going to be building a brand new terminal that's going to give Royal Caribbean the ability to have Oasis class and Icon class ships come into that terminal. It's going to be very, very large. So they're going to be knocking that down. You see the MSC ship there. You're going to have an MSC port as well at double A, which is going to be in front of Terminal A that we know now, and they're going to build that. But there's also what most people don't know is there's another terminal at the MSC terminal that's being built. There's technically three berths that are going up there, which Royal Caribbean will also have the ability to use. So it is not only an MSC terminal like I thought originally, because it has MSC's name on it, but there will be one berth, berth 10, that the cruise ships for Royal Caribbean will also be able to use. I think that's a shared agreement with MSC, but they'll also be able to use that as well. So we're gonna lose view of her here a little bit. I'm tempted to, try my zoom out just to show you the difference, and hopefully this doesn't get too grainy on us. But you can kind of see the difference. That is the MSE Meraviglia. If you zoom in, it's amazing what you can find out about things. But that is the Icon of the Seas compared to MSC's Meraviglia, which is one of their newest ships. It is by no means as large as what we're looking at. I can't get my camera to stay in place. It keeps wanting to move on me. Using a tripod, which I'm not accustomed to, so I am manually working this as the ship moves by. And then when it comes out on the other side, I can give you a better shot of it. But we're going to lose the view of it for a wee little bit as it passes the MSC Meraviglia. That is a ship I have not been on. You all know that, you know what, I like MSC. People give it a bad rap. I don't know why, but I like MSC. The Meraviglia is supposed to be more like a Freedom class ship, and it's got a promenade shaped like that. Many of MSC ships, if you are a Royal Caribbean fan, look and feel just like Royal Caribbean. They are from the same shipbuilder, and they have some different designs and unique elements to it. But their newer ships, like the World Europa as well as the World America, are going to be Oasis class ship. They're from the Fernetti builders, and I forget the country that they're in, but it's from the same shipbuilder. But they're going to put their own twist and design onto it, giving us more cruising options out of Port Miami. You see the gun cannon salute is still going as they welcome her back to Terminal A. It's going to take her a little bit of time to get there. They certainly do not speed through the terminal, or not through the terminal, through the channel, I should say. It is a no-wake zone. Not that cruise ships, are bad for that, but they are decent. All right, so hopefully she'll come back into view for us a little bit, but I'll give you a little bit of a view of South Beach is what you're looking at there on the zoomed in. Not quite down to south of 5th or where the South Point is. So when you're taking the cruise ships out, you see all the people standing on the shore waving and hollering at the cruise ships, and we're waving and hollering back at the people on the land. That is not in view just yet. We'll get there closer when it gets to Terminal A. I'm still just kind of blown away. I didn't think that I was going to like Icon of the Seas. I thought that I would not like to look. It looked like a monstrosity, like it looked too big, and it does look big, make no mistake. But it also has this beautiful elegance to it that I'm really enjoying watching right now. And hopefully, it looks like we're going to have a really good sunrise this morning to illuminate this for us. Hopefully, it'll make a little bit of effort. It is peeking up over the clouds now, so hopefully, we'll get some good sun on it to really show you what it looks like. But yeah, I walked out this morning when I heard it. I jumped out of bed like it's a kid on Christmas Day, literally. I heard the horn go off and knew it was the Icon of the Seas beckoning me. And so I went running outside and I was like, oh, wow, that's a really pretty ship. The Meraviglia that you see there is a 2000, I want to say like a 2015 build. Like she's a newer girl on the block. She's not an older ship. And you can see that, cruise ships wear really, really quickly. And I think that's something that we forget, especially me, because I'm on a lot of the not newer ships these days, but the older ships these days. I'm on the Freedom class and below. And, they age. Being on the water, having thousands of passengers on there, on a weekend sailing, we're turning 3,000 people every 3 to 4 days. And so it takes a little bit of wear and tear. And this ship right here is just pristine and untouched. So it is really, really cool. Looks like the sun is going to give us a little bit of a break here as she comes out. A more zoomed in view. You can see the embarkation area. So if you're looking at the life rafts there, they're yellow on this ship, as they are on many Royal Caribbean ships. And you're going to see where the embarkation debarkation gap is. That's going to be that square that you see on the bottom. So that's where you're going to get on and get off of the ship, and that should lead you directly into the main promenade on Icon of the Seas. I love seeing the water cannon salute, having a recognition that, hey, this is a big event. This is also a huge investment in Miami and Port Miami. The amount of people that this ship is going to be able to bring in. I have a feeling, especially given the pricing of it, that it's going to be sold out for quite some time to come. That is an additional 7,600 potential people that are going to be coming through Port Miami every week. So she's going to be doing 7 night sailings down to the Caribbean. And we're going to have all those people flying in, driving to, coming to Miami. And so I know the city is super thankful for their partnership with Royal Caribbean. Which, by the way, you can't see it because I'm zoomed in right now. If I zoomed out, you'd actually be able to see Royal Caribbean headquarters right on the other side of the water. But the focus today is on Icon of the Seas. I mean, she is a pretty ship. I'm enjoying this. Looks like there's some, I was gonna say there's red lights bouncing off of her, but I think that that's probably a boat that is behind her. There's another fire department boat that is probably falling behind her that's causing a reflection in the window, if I had to guess. Or it could be, I don't know, it could be a light on the ship. Let's move the camera a little bit more. Sorry, I'm not smoother. I'm not used to working with cameras like this. And it could be a little bit lopsided. Sorry about that. The ship, I promise, is not going lopsided. It is the way that the tripod is set up because I've never done this, and this is on my phone as well. So hopefully the quality shows up for us. I've also got my microphone in, so I know that there's a ton of noise. They've got construction going on beside of me. As you all know, Miami, like most larger cities these days, are building skyscrapers left and right, and we are no exception to that. And so they've had a little bit of construction noise going since they came in. They would not be quiet for, out of respect for the arrival of Icon of the Seas, surprisingly. So she is slowly making her way down there. She looks like she's just on the other side of Terminal B now, which is NCL. So here in a little bit, you're going to see her come to a stop and then slowly turn on those bow thrusters, push water away from the side of the ship, and it's going to come up to dock directly beside its new home port here in Miami. Wish I could read the banners up above. I'm kind of surprised. If I'm zoomed in, you can't necessarily see the banners. But there are two different aircraft pulling banners behind them flying around. And I have to imagine they might say something about icon of the seas. There's certainly at this hour, it's probably 7:30, 7:45 now, not a lot of people on the beach. So those banners would probably be for Royal Caribbean if I had to guess. But because the sun is behind them, you can't actually see the banners, unfortunately. They are all blacked out because they are backlit with the sun behind them. But I gotta imagine that they have something to do with welcoming Icon of the Seas to Port Miami. Anything that jumps out to you all? I'm curious, what are your thoughts on this cruise ship as she comes into her new home port? What are your thoughts on Icon of the Seas? Is this, many of you are probably watching this video because you're super excited to go on her, and I think that, you know what, you're gonna have a blast. If you have watched the videos, you know what the Icon of the Seas is. I can tell you that it is a beautiful, pristine ship right now. You're gonna have a really, really good time. But let me know what you all think. I'm always curious. My opinion is one of many. I do not currently plan on going Icon of the Seas. I've gotten that question, I can't tell you how many times. I mean, a lot. It is not currently within my budget to go on Icon of the Seas. She has been expensive. She is very pricey to be able to get on, especially some of those initial sailings. Going for multi-thousand dollars for a week-long sailing for one person. And I just can't see myself doing that. As it ages, and as there's other new ships, and she's not the favored child anymore, you know what? I'll probably make it over there when her prices come down a little bit because I do like knowing that I go on most Royal Caribbean ships. I think I've done 27 or 28 ships in the fleet at this point, and I welcome the opportunity to go on all of them. Some of them I'm just waiting for them to come stateside. They're over in Asia, and I've not had a chance to board them just yet. But I would get on Icon of the Seas eventually when that price comes down a little bit. Is it something that I think I would have a blast on? Not for me personally, because I think that it is really tailored towards families. If you're going as a family or you love big ships, those are the reasons why you probably would have a really good time on Icon of the Seas. All right, so now you can see the buildings there on the right are south of 5th. That is South Point, where you see all those people on land. And now you can see Terminal A has come into view for us as well. The first building that you see is going to be NCL's Terminal B, and then right past that is going to be Terminal A. Still wishing the sun would make a little bit more effort for us, but oh, it's kind of cloudy. That's why I'm looking around the camera now. It is cloudy over there. We have had not great weather the last 2 weeks in Florida. It has not been bad weather, but it has been very overcast, very gloomy, and I am not accustomed to that. So even just this little tease that the sun's giving us, I am here for it. The water cannon's still going. You see that it is directly in front of Terminal A now as Icon of the Seas makes its way to Terminal A. I'm sort of just looking at it and staring, trying to picture what are the differences to this ship. And on the surface, it really does look and feel like an Oasis class ship, though I know that there are some distinct differences to this ship. But because I haven't been going on her, I've not actually researched her that much. So I would love, I probably should have, knowing that this day was coming, give you all insight into what's different about her. But I don't really know, other than the family suite, the density, the size, coming in at, I believe, almost 250,000 gross tons. It's about 248,000 gross tons. She is a big ship. She's still moving forward. It's going to take her a while to get the forward section all the way to the front of Terminal A. Terminal A has never had a ship of this size before either. So one thing that, I am thankful for here in Port Miami, and I know I've got some folks that work at Port Miami that follow the channel. I am thankful for your skill and your efforts in being able to get these cruise ships into port safely. There is a huge team from the pilot to the ground crew and the linesmen that are on the ground who are helping make sure that these cruise ships come in safely. So that is a huge thankfulness that I have. So thank you, Port Miami folks, if you're watching this. Cheers to you for doing such an amazing job in preventing any incidents here in the port on, especially the cruise ship side. I don't know if the port side how that goes, but on the cruise ship side, which I specialize in, um, I'm really thankful. All right, I'm trying to tell if the icon has slowed down any now. Zoom in a wee little bit more to her. Nope, she is still moving forward, so this is going to take her a wee little while. And then we'll see those bow thrusters come on once she gets into place. And we may lose view of her on the other side of the NCL building, Terminal B. And if that is the case, I may cut the video feed because I think you've gotten the gist of it. She is here. That is the important part. She has made it. She's come over from Europe. She stopped in Perfect Day Coco Cay, which interestingly enough, yesterday they were at Perfect Day Coco Cay. They had the Red Bull plane there, which is also a reason why I think some of these banners that are flying up above could be for Royal Caribbean, but they had the Red Bull plane over there and got some really, really cool shots and probably video as well of the cruise ship Icon of the Seas at beautiful Perfect Day Coco Cay. So I'm not going to be able to show her coming all the way in to Terminal A. There is all of south of 5th. You can fully see Terminal A. You've got the parking lot directly to the right of that. And on the other side of that, you see a little bit of a gap, and then you see the other parking garage start. That is where you're going to be building for the new Terminal AA and Berth 10, and one other that I forget the name of that terminal that is coming that they're going to be using. Sorry, the lighting is not amazing this morning. I can't control it for an entire cruise ship, and it has gotten even more cloudy. So the video feed has gotten darker as we have gone on. This has kind of been the weather we've had in Miami. I wish we had. I thought there for a while we were going to have really great weather, sunny weather to welcome the icon of the season, but that has not been the case. But she still continues moving forward, and eventually we'll see her start to push to the side. That red light that I zoomed in on is still there that we talked about earlier. So it must be something on the ship is there must be an entertainment item of some kind on the back of the ship. I don't think it's tall enough that it needs a beacon for planes not to hit it. I don't think it has any of those. But you never know. If they keep building them like this, that might be the next step is getting the cruise ships cleared by the FAA before they can sail. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and cut the video feed at this time because I know we're going to be losing even more of the ship, and you're not going to be able to see a lot of it as it does come into Terminal A. But know that it is almost there. It is almost at Terminal A. And I also want to get this video uploaded. I tried going live at first, and that was disastrous. So hopefully my audio video looks good enough that I feel comfortable posting this. So give me some grace if it's not. I literally jumped out of bed and threw this together very, very quick. I should have been more prepared, but thought I'd have a little bit more time in the day, but she came in. Granted, she came in later than normal. Normally, cruise ships, you see the Meraviglia was already here. Normally, they come in much earlier. So it's nothing to see a cruise ship come in at 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. That's kind of normal, actually. Luckily, they don't always blow their horns. This was a special occasion. Fine, icon of the season. I'm gonna let it slide that you woke me up this morning. I don't mind. But I might be probably the only one in all of downtown Miami who is excited to hear your horn going off first thing this morning. But I was like a kid in a candy store and couldn't wait to start filming and sharing this with all of you. But I'm going to go ahead and drop. I'm going to get this posted. So let me know in the comments what you think, and hopefully a lot more to come on. Actually, they've got the sign where I can see it now. Let me just pan up a little bit. Where is it? Oh, let me zoom out a wee little bit. Can you see the banners going by? They even further up? Oh, there they are. It is the icon of the seas, so I was correct on that. The airplane banners are for Icon of the Seas. They've got a few of them that are flying by. So now they have come into full view just above the cruise ship. How cool is that? They are definitely giving her a proper welcome here to Port Miami. So you see those cloud covers has picked up a wee little bit for us. Not the best, but you'll see this is the full shot here. I said I was going to drop it. Here I go, keep talking. But I'm just so excited to share all this with you. Um, so it looks like the bow thrusters, if I had to guess, have been turned on at this point. And she is making that side maneuver into the port now. All right, so that is everyone's favorite newest ship. It's all about Marsha these days, icon of the seas. Um, so I am excited to share this with you. So let me go get it uploaded and let me know in the comments what you think. This is Brandon, the Weekend Cruiser. Hoping to see you on a weekend cruise soon or waving to me from Icon of the Seas.